Party people, welcome to the ride. Welcome to another episode of the podcast with many names. I am your host, Damian L. Butler. Been away for a little while doing a few things, but we're back. Rounded out the summer speaking tour last week in Fort Worth, Texas. I lost track how many times I've been in Texas this year, but last week was a dope time. And I talk about all the time, jump out there, give yourself a chance, take the risk, do what you've always been trying to do. And in this week's episode, we're going to talk just about the benefits of doing just that. Welcome back. It's been some time. A lot of things happen. If you're just now catching up with us, I am on the road of entrepreneurship. I finally decided to take that leap and give this leadership coaching, consulting a go. I've been able to give a lot of people good advice. They trust me. They want to hear what I have to say. Oftentimes they bring me their problems. So I've decided I'm going to take some time and take a chance and go out and help people where they are, meet people where they are, help them get to the one to go, and help grow some better leaders in the process. So here we are. One of the things that I wanted to do on this trip was, connect with some professionals. I went to the Association of School Business Officials International Conference, or ACNE, Annual Conference and Expo. And I was able to meet a few people. Some people I wanted to meet. Podcasting is a thing that I do. I don't know if you noticed or not, but there are some podcasters that I wanted to meet there. I wanted to get down and do some things and just have some discussions. It turned out that our paths just collided perfectly. The female co-host, Ms. Tara Van Dyke, she's running for a leadership position in the organizational structure, and was campaigning on stage during one of the sessions, the opening sessions, or every session. And she made a statement about preparing the next generation of school business officials. And I had a workshop on mentorship. So I just took the quote that she used in her campaign speech and used it in my session. Turns out she was sitting in my session. So that was really super dope that I got to I'd say kill two birds with one stone. I killed the bird I wasn't even aiming at. I wanted to meet her and connect her and her co-host. I got to meet him briefly. He was doing big things. We actually presented at the same time on the first day of the conference, which was a really good feeling to know that I was put on the same schedule as, notable folks within the organization. The information that I was sharing in my workshop or seminar, whatever you want to call it, was on par and was given the same level. So that was dope. So I didn't get to listen to what they had to say because I was saying what I needed to say. It was good to know that it was the same thing, on the same level, I guess, to say the same people. I had something relevant to say. The organization recognized it, and I was able to go and be on the same scale, same time, all that good stuff. So that was a confidence boost in itself, just to be in that time slot. To have this person I've been trying to meet come in and say, hey, you got something to say? I want to hear what you got to say. I like you. Let's work together. So that podcast host and co-host, or co-host, whatever you want to call them, met both of them, and we agreed to kind of work something out so we can hopefully get them both on this podcast while not sharing theirs. But that was super dope to be able to do that. Stepping out there and presenting to seasoned school officials, school business officials, CFOs and upper level it's kind of daunting and scary to think about it, to go out there and just say, hey, I can do this, and not have the background that those folks have, but you have something to say. I clearly have something worthwhile to say. I've been able to present at different organizations in the same manner, I did the MSBO thing. I've done it a few times, and I'm looking forward to doing it more. And ASBO was a stretch. It's like, you know what, let me give it a shot. Getting there, you get information from the planning staff and tell you what you need to do when you get on the ground. These are some things you need to do before you get here. Bada boom, bada bing, yada yada, all that kind of stuff. I got to meet those folks. That team was awesome. They helped me out in a major way. Good times. But I found out that typically they don't let speakers speak more than once because they have so many people putting in, quality proposals that they want to make sure they get enough of the voices heard. I was very lucky that I got two. I did two days back to back, and it was exciting. The very first one early in the morning, but found out that's the time that the heavy hitters go. So I got to take a good swing. My mentor workshop wasn't as packed, but it was just as meaningful because I got to meet, mentors that are looking for ways to improve their mentor program. And we turned it into a whole conversation. And I'm going to call it a high level mentorship discussion because senior people that are growing mentor programs are looking for ways to improve it. And that's exactly what we're able to talk about. So that was really cool to be able to do. And we turned some things we created a discussion, and the group of people that were in the room were the ones that needed to be in the room. So took a chance, and it ended well, and it ended extremely well. The speaking team was a great team to work with, and they supported. They believed the proposals that I turned in were worthwhile, so they gave me 2 slots, which was really dope because I met a lot of good people. Of course, in my the presentation I give, there's a contact me slide, and on that slide, I have all my information: email, website, LinkedIn, podcast information, YouTube information. Find me. This is where I am. So I was able to connect with a lot of people, and moving through this throughout the different events, people seeing me and making sure they stop me to tell me how good or how much they enjoyed the information that I shared. They were able to learn something, to take something back. And that's all that I really want to do when it comes to presenting information in front of large groups. I want to help you get better, give you a tool or something, or help you see things differently, give you a new idea or something. So that was able to happen. And had I stayed in and been afraid and like, oh, I'm not this, I'm not that, that would never happen at all. The information that I shared would not have been shared. A lot of the information that I shared, the coolest part to me though was it was repeated in the keynote, the big time. Everybody in one room keynote speaker. They said what I was saying in my workshops. So that was dope. And then listening to other people talk about those keynotes, like, I really didn't get anything, keynote worthy. Those could have been workshops. So I was like, ooh, that's kind of rough. However, I did a workshop that hit those points. So it's worthy. I'm in there. I'm relevant. I'm making sense, and I'm doing what needs to get done. And had I waited for the right opportunity or the right credential or enough years in the chair as a CFO and this, that, and the other, who knows what happened. Get out there and mix and mingle. I'm a pretty charismatic person that I can be confident in. People tend to like me. If you don't like me, there's probably something, it's probably something wrong with you. Because I'm an easy person to get along with, and that's that. I can't, I don't know what else to tell you. But I'm friendly. I'm easy to talk to, and I'm willing to share some ideas. Being that as it may, people want to help me out. So I learned some new ways to get some things done. A couple of people were like, do you have your certification in this? Like, well, I started the process and I ran into some, a few roadblocks. Like, roadblocks? Let's stay in touch. I'm on the board. Like, oh, that's kind of dope. I don't know what all that means yet, but I know I have somebody to kind of work through it with. Some questions I had that didn't know who to ask. to get the answers or find the support. I got it now, all because I stood in front of this group of people and presented information. And I say all that to say, go for it. Stretch. Go in to do things that you don't feel you're 100% qualified for. It's important that you do that because there's someone less qualified than you living the life you want to live. Well, very well. You need to jump out there and listen. I'm telling you to jump, but that doesn't mean you're always going to land and stick the landing. Sometimes you might fall on your face, but there's a difference. You know what that feeling is to go and go after this thing and try to grab hold of it. Because it's like a trapeze person swinging back and forth. All you're doing is swinging, hoping and wishing. Nah, get out there, swing, grab that thing. And once you get that feeling, man, it sparks some more feelings. I mean, to have people that you look up to come to you and give you compliments and tell you that they learned something from you, that's dope. That's major. That makes it worth doing. That makes it worth doing again. Take the risk, man. Take the risk. Take the risk. Take the risk, Chief. Get out there and risk the embarrassment of being wrong. Most times you're not going to be wrong because you have enough information to spark a conversation, and you do it in a good manner. You do things with integrity. You do things, kindness and empathy and all those good things. Do it with a good heart, with good intentions. People are going to help you out. Now, if you walk in there like you're the man and like you're the prettiest thing walking and your stuff don't stink, people gonna let you know you stink. They're gonna move away from you and you're gonna start to smell yourself, and it's not gonna be good for you. So step out there with some humility. Step out there with an intent to help. Step out there with an intent to grow. And as you reach, people will help you go to the next level. And it was an awesome trip. I had a lot of help from people outside of the organization. I got some good video. I'm not sure about the sound yet, still working on that. But you got people just stepping up to help you do things. I got a good crew of people around me that want the best for me. So they offer their best. They're offering their best because I'm taking a step out there. If I wasn't stepping, they wouldn't offer. I mean, what are they gonna offer for? What's the point? Get out there, and make this thing work. Put the 5 rocks to work for you. Faith, and believe that you can do it. Step out there. Faith without works is dead. Family. I'm making new connections. Are they family yet? Not quite, but they're new connections that make some things happen. But the folks that are around me, putting things in place so I can get better. Focus. We're all going towards this goal of growing the message and sharing it on a higher level. How do we do that? How do we get better at it? The people around me are supporting the vision. Fidelity, we got to go through this process. You got to get in front of people. You got to take the chance. You got to jump. You got to do it. You got to do the work. You got to go through the process. And fortitude, don't be afraid to do it. It's a little nerve-wracking. I had to introduce myself. So I had to get creative with it. But people remember. I got some LinkedIn connections. I got some feedback on my phone. So all of those things are coming together. I'm doing it out of love. I love watching people get better. I'm enjoying the process. And I'm doing my best to operate in integrity. Faith, family, focus, fidelity, fortitude, love, joy, and integrity are going to take me a long way. They'll take you far too. So don't be afraid to step out there. Step out in faith, step out with good intention. Yes, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. But when you do good work, you don't go to hell. So get with good people, make good things happen. It was definitely a worthwhile trip. It was worth being away for 2 weeks, to have a gap in the sessions because I needed something more to kind of boost my confidence. There are moments when, on this new entrepreneurial journey that in the short time that I've been focusing on it, it's there have been some down times you got to talk yourself through, get with some people to get through some things, it's worth doing. Whatever your dream is. Mine right now is entrepreneurship. That's my focus. That's my goal. Yours may not be that. Whatever yours is, go after it because it's not going to happen unless you do. No one is waiting to give you anything. Now, if you show up and you're working, generosity will work in your favor and they'll give it to you. But you got to show up, be working. And then that's going to come find you to give it to you. The Lord didn't put on their heart to give you. No, the chances of that happening are very slim. Because for the most part, you're not going to be around that person anyway because they're outside of the norm. So you got to stretch, you got to reach, go further, go after it. I mean, this trip was a lot of fun. I mean, I got to hang out more in Fort Worth than I did the last time I was there. And I found a dope restaurant. That was really cool. I mean, it's go for it. I mean, I can sit here and tell you all it's up to the boy you're deaf about, Fort Worth, but be it Fort Worth or the moon, go after it. Go get what you need. Go to where it is because it's not going to come find you. The opportunity. You want opportunity to knock, you got to build the door. So, luck happens to people. Luck is the collision of opportunity and preparation. So prepare yourself. Do it. You're dreaming about it. You're thinking about it. Go for it. If it doesn't work, figure out what went wrong and keep at it. Don't be a one and done. You gotta, don't, you can make a million mistakes, don't like the same one twice. It's easier said than done. You're gonna make some mistakes, but go for it. Go, go, go. Whatever the name of this podcast is, that's the goal of the podcast, is to help you develop the skills to go to the next level and make your dreams come true. That's what we're here for. And every chance I get to tell you, I'm going to tell you, jump. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not always the safest time either. But when is the safest time? When's the best time? When's the perfect time? You got to go. You got to go. And you'll learn from the bumps and bruises of when things don't go your way. Go for it. Go for it. Have the audacity to dream beyond your limits and stop asking permission. As we wrap this up, we got to talk about the not so new book review. And a book that came up in conversation this week was The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho, one of my favorite books of all time. It's a novel, but it felt real. It felt really real. In the book, there's a guy that goes on a journey and he meets some people that help him understand a few things. He goes from place to place and certain things happen. And all those things kind of conspire to help him get to what he wants. I don't want to give it away, but I'll tell you this. The book says the universe conspires to give you what you want. So when you go after it, things tend to work in your favor. You got some ups and downs, but the upside is when you go after it, it starts coming to you. The more you think about it, the further it gets. Once you start walking towards it, that distance closes. The universe is conspiring for your success. Get up, make it happen, take a chance. More good than bad will come. You don't need a little bit good anyway. A little bit. Remember, all-stars in baseball hit the ball 3 out of 10 times. Last week, I had a conversation with some bankers. And I was, explaining the whole journey that I'm starting and I'm on. And I'm, just kind of out here taking my chances, getting my nose up, getting ghosted, all that kind of stuff. So 3 out of 10. It's like, that's lofty. We only expect our salespeople to hit 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10, and you can't take this leap. Listen, 20% of your effort is going to bring you 80% of your joy. That's the Pareto rule. Go for it. 2 out of 10. I went to the gym and shot free throws. It took me 6 shots to hit one. I kept shooting. But I'm a 6-foot leadership coach, not an all-star NBA player. Keep shooting. Keep shooting. I give y'all a lot of advice. I tell y'all to do things. I want to do something very clear. If you do something, if I suggest something, I can't tell you what to do. You know, I can't make you do anything. Let me say that. I can't make you do anything. But if you follow one of my suggestions and it doesn't work out right, reach out to me. Let me know. So let's work through this thing together. You know where to find me on the socials all over. At Damian L. Butler, at The Manifest One. Yeah, peace. I like to leadership later. Reach out, let me know. Hit me in the DMs. Let's talk this thing through. We can go to the next level together. I'm Damian L. Butler, the mentor you didn't know you had. I'm here for you. Jump.